Hello everyone. I hope all of you are having a good day and a great week. We had a lot of new snow today, so if you're one of our seasonal attenders, come on back out. We got fresh, rejuvenated skiing for you. Guys, a few specific things I want to share with you today. First of all, this coming Sunday, the 26th, is an important day for our church on multiple fronts. The first is, and I've been talking to you about this for a good while now, is right after our Edwards worship service, we're going to be having a special called church meeting to vote whether or not to extend a call for a full-time pastoral ministry position to Matthew Wyatt. And this position focuses on primarily on our student ministry, our youth ministry, but a few other leadership areas in the church as well. So we've been having a lot of conversations with a lot of people over the entire month of February. And so this Sunday is when we're choosing if this is indeed the step that God is leading us to take. So if you're here, I'm looking forward to you being here and participating in that. But if you're not, hold us in prayer as we go through that process. Another reason this weekend is important to us is we are sending this weekend and next weekend as well, but this weekend, I think around 30 high school students to what we call winter camp, the snow camp. It's a weekend evangelism camp in Buena Vista at the Young Life Frontier Ranch there in Buena Vista. And so our almost all of our high school youth group, not all of them, but a majority of them are going to this. And guys, pray for this. And if you're one of those high schoolers and you happen to see this, we're praying for you because these kids are going to hear the gospel very clearly, very energetically presented to them. And while some of our youth that come consistently to our Wednesday night, again, are very faithful in it, and what we do on Wednesday night there is very meaningful to them, actually a good percentage of them have not made professions of faith, and they're just figuring out who Jesus is. And so this is an opportunity for them in a very concerted way to hear the gospel message. So pray for their hearts. Pray for safe travels for our team as we drive them there to the camp, and all of our volunteers. Sunday here at Edwards, actually, we're going to have some people out because we've got a lot of folks that are volunteering to take our kids to that camp. So pray for that as well. Just the last thing, we're wrapping up my sermon series through the first chapter of 1 Peter. And one of the lines, if you go and you read verses 25 through the end of the chapter of 1 Peter, chapter 1, you'll see this phrase, because we have, Peter says, now that we have purified ourselves by obeying the truth, so that we love one another deeply from the heart. Love one another deeply from the heart. Guys, a lot of y'all know this, but this has been a tough week in our valley this last week. There have been two very unexpected deaths of people who have been a part of our community, but were quite young, very beloved, influential people in our valley. And a lot of folks in our valley have really had their worlds rocked this week. Also, I just know across our church family, and again, if you're one of our seasonal attenders, probably the same in your church family as well. Just people who are really struggling. And so when we think about this message of 1 Peter that we've been going through together, that in Christ we have this inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade, the hope that we have, the life that we have been called into, and that ultimately at the end of the day it manifests itself in how we care for one another, how we love one another. That's where we're going to be going and really pushing deeply into this Sunday. Last thought, if you were here last Sunday when we talked about this really challenging biblical New Testament concept, that even as believers, that our works will be judged by Christ, that we will all come before the judgment seat of Christ. We touched on that last Sunday. I'm just going to touch on it again, and some of you might have some really big open questions regarding that, and I'm going to be addressing that again as well on Sunday. So guys, I love you so much. Be kind, because someone around you needs your kindness. And I look forward to seeing you Sunday. Love you.